Okay. Oh, thank you so much, Leslie. Can you hear me now? Oh, good. I hope you can hear me now. Okay. Wow. 2 minutes of no sound. Oh, well. There you go. That's fine. I'm not surprised. So, welcome, welcome, everybody. Akasha here, and Akasha. We're doing a little bit different show right now. We're going to do the Atlantis Pyramid one on Tuesday. This is going to be some channeling. There's so much information coming through, so many downloads. I've just gotten back from a 4-day pilgrimage, a personal pilgrimage of my own into the Mayan jungle. I live here, but to a place where I love to do fire ceremony for 3 mornings, for 2 to 6 in the morning, and be at the pyramids and be in nature and speak to the ancestors. And it's so life transforming. And this is the kind of thing we do at the retreats. So highly recommend you, if you're interested in a December retreat. There's an amazing one, very spiritual, very beautiful, very deep, soft, and with a Mayan elder wisdom keeper and everything. So let me know. And then also, of course, in March, the most epic one ever, with Maria Wheatley and me and Miguel Angel, the wisdom keeper. So if those ring your bell, it's be a good time to talk to me. So I go on these pilgrimages for my own spiritual growth. And then because this is what I love, this is what I do. So then I share with you. And I love to teach because getting to see the transformation that happens in these classes that we've been doing is, all classes, right? Whatever, but just really incredible. So if you want to join the Ancestor Magic class, you still can, of course. Don't worry about it because you have all the recordings and it's an ongoing, you can use it over and over and over. Okay, so hopefully you're not hearing a lot of clicking noise from my earrings, my fairy wings. So one of the things that's so profound for me teaching is that I take personal experiences, I take downloads, I connect channeling, I create the sacred space. I start to communicate with spirit. Spirit starts to say, "Oh, you should teach this. You should teach that. Oh, what about this? What about that?" This morning, we'd already gotten through our whole training section about the energies of the day, and we're getting ready to start our activation using the energies. And I got this whole guidance to, like, oh no, wait, go add this thing. And it was like, wow. Yeah. So being fluid, being in the flow, being able to respond, being resilient, being in your spirit, being connected to your spiritual powers, your spiritual intuitive bodies, your unseen realms. Most of the world is unseen from our perspective. The physical world is one tiny, tiny, tiny realm. It is not solid. It is not there to keep you in. It's not solid. Just, it's so real that it's not solid, that don't go drive into a wall, please. However, if you start to shift, it shifts, it changes. It's a reflection of you. It's pure. It's just literal. And we have so much more control. I don't like that word, but of our reality than we realize. But it's not the control we're chasing right now. If I have a lot of money in the bank, I'll feel safe. If I, have a big house, I'll feel, good about myself, or whatever it is. So now we're coming into a time of spiritual action, simplicity, spiritual maturity, a time when we can really have an opportunity to understand our purpose, our promise, that agreement we made with the universe, the purpose, the reason we came. We didn't come to get stuck in a lot of stories about who did what to who and 14,000 dramas and get addicted to TV. We came to complete a lot of patterns so that at this moment, when we're having this massive evolutionary acceleration, we can use that energy for our highest good to create the reality that we designed and we brought. Yes, you did. So the reality around you is probably not satisfying, right? It's probably not very satisfying. I mean, I'm not saying that you're not satisfied at all. I mean, everybody has things that you love, and depending where you are in your path, like, I love my life. And that's one of the things I say. And it's one of the things I teach to say all the time is, I love my life. I love my life. I love, love, love my life. So, I don't know if I should turn my light on or not. So the pathway that we walk, the light path that we walk. We get to choose whether we want to align with the spiritual blueprint that we designed to do these things, these big things, spiritual things, or high level things, or whatever, in some area. It doesn't have to be in money. We've been brainwashed to think that you measure success by your money, your house, your car, and your status, or something. It's like one really minor part of life. So minor, just consuming people, So you are here to remember that you have greater possibilities, powers, prosperity, purpose, and that purpose, as it reveals itself, becomes a map within you. It becomes a very, very, very beautiful map within you. If you trust it, then your senses awaken, you listen to your map, you're in the eternal now, you're starting to flow in this really beautiful way, getting to create whatever you would like in your life, and you create your reality. So when you decide that you're not going to be pleasing other people, you're not going to be disturbed by, addicted to scrolling social media, you're not going to be disturbed by that, you're not going to watch the news, you're only going to have people in your life that are kind, harmonious, aligned, wonderful. Everyone else, you just thank them and see them as teachers, because you know that your whole path is harmoniously designed already. It's been pre-designed before you came here, to walk you along a path of light where you have challenges. Yes, okay, things happen, people die, but you will walk that path with such great presence and richness and purpose that you're savoring everything, and you're receiving everything, and you're enjoying everything, and you're experiencing everything and feeding it back to the divine, because you are a piece of the divine, and that's your purpose. But then you realize, wow, I'm really excited about Mayan pyramids and ancient mysteries and mystery schools and energy medicine. And, so for me, I didn't know that, but I started to discover that. And then I followed that joy, and I followed that bliss, and I followed that path, because it was a communication from spirit, while at the same time I'm working really hard and having successful businesses and businesses that fail, and wonderful marriage and a big bankruptcy and divorce. And, all these things are happening side by side. My spiritual path is raising up, and my physical 3D path is going woo, 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 woo. And I think that's pretty much the way most people's lives are, unless you're very cautious and perhaps you've lived a life that you haven't had a lot of ups and downs, because you've been, very, very, very resistant, to speak up, and now you want to speak up or something. I don't know, right? But we really have a purpose for everything that's happened. None of it's bad or punishment, and it's that belief that we've been told, well, if you were a better person, or if you'd done that right, then you would be this, you'd be married with the perfect partner now, and you'd have a bunch of money in the bank, and your body would be perfect, and this would be that, and this would be whatever. So this is an unlearning time. So important for us to unlearn. So important for us to unlearn. The paradigm that you were raised in is one really tiny potential illusion, that, one potential perspective of reality. If you travel, you know that. If you live in other countries and get to know the culture or the mindset a little bit, because I don't think you could ever fully understand any other culture if you were not raised in it. It's not possible, because it's what's first woven in, right? So it's not that we're different, it's that we respect that, and we choose our perspective, but then we didn't really choose it when we grew up. So now's our time to choose, well, my family thinks, all rich people are greedy. So I always resist getting really wealthy, because I think subconsciously, I don't want to be, unliked or criticized, things like this. There's a lot that holds us back from our true path. What is your true path? What is it? Do you know what it is? Is it talking to you? Is it whispering to you? So today in the Mayan calendar, it's Ebb, which is the road of life. This is the living road. This is the road up, climbing up into your higher self, into your vision, into your spiritual self, into your pineal, which connects to everything. The road of life that's living. and it's your road. So if you start to think about, well, are you on your road, or are you on someone else's road, or are you chasing some road that you think is better for you than your road, than being here in the eternal now, in the present moment where you are, creating your own life with yourself and remembering your power and getting back onto your commitment path, your priestess path, your sacred path, right? So this is a time for us to accept that we're supported and loved and guided. It's guided seems so odd because that's an outdoor thing. Like there's a guide and they're pointing the way, but it's all an internal thing. So I'm like guided. I don't know, like follow that inner map. Let's just follow that inner map. So I got off my class. I knew there was no way I was going to be able to do the other show, and I just went. I'm in such an expanded state after 4 days of doing ceremony and barely sleeping. I think I got about 7 hours of sleep over 3 days or so. I'm back. I slept a lot more. I'm still between the worlds. It's very difficult for me to see. I wear these little yellow glasses sometimes. These are like computer glasses. Yeah. To help me be able to like even see like normal stuff. And so with that, and then teaching the classes where we're talking to these energies, we're embodying these energies. This is what I want for you, regardless of whether you take my classes or come to my retreats or what path you're on or what particular method you like for your awakening, supporting yourself. Just support yourself, okay? Because you're so important, and we're each just so important. If you don't own your own piece of the pie, then we're all missing a piece, you see. But my world is my responsibility. And if you're a reflection of me and you're struggling with something, then I have to go, oh, okay, I'm not the cause of your struggling, but you're a reflection of my belief in struggling. And then the obsidian mirror becomes really profound. So the Maya have so many incredibly profound wisdom, sacred teachings. In fact, it's so deep, it's so vast, and we only know a very tiny bit of it because the Spanish burned all the books and all this other stuff. So the wisdom that has been preserved and passed down orally, and that has been rediscovered. More books are found, more codices have been found, more artwork, more pottery, more signs, more symbols. Mayan is decoded now. There's a big surge of interest in the Maya wisdom. There's mostly complete false misinformation out there at archaeological sites, names of sites and everything. So I've been here for 10 years, and I was shocked after a few months here how I realized that this was home to me. I loved it. I fell in love with it. I found the pyramids. I found the jaguar. The shaman found me. I started doing retreats. All the sacred stuff came forward. It was stunning. I'd been doing this kind of work in Egypt, and I was hoping to get back to Egypt because those are pyramids there. So I'm going to Egypt in a year and a half. So then it was, wow, it's all right here. It's all right here. I didn't see it. I didn't recognize it. Maybe your path is right there, or maybe you've been led there and you loved it, but you didn't do anything about returning or staying or changing your lifestyle. People will come to places like New Mexico where I lived, and this is what happened to me. I went there on vacation and I didn't want to leave, and I started crying, and I knew it was home, and I went home and I sold everything and I got my cats and I moved back again. And that was until Spirit said, okay, you're done, next path, and spit me out to the next place. And I had my daughter who ended up dying there. I had so many profound, it was my whole spiritual path started in New Mexico. Everything, all my animal communication, energy healing, my first mystery schools, I was living there when I went to Egypt. Everything spiritual in my life bloomed when I went there, but it felt like everything fell apart in order to get me there. Do you see what I mean? So the road, the path that we're on unravels, and it unravels in weird ways. But if we get stuck in being a victim or thinking something that's happening to us is bad, instead of saying, wow, I wonder what this is for. What is Spirit telling me? What's the opportunity? I can't wait to see what unfolds next. And then I breathe and I look for support, and I realize I am loved and I am supported, and all around me is everything I need. And there's already codes within me that I need. And as soon as I embody my true path, then spirit is already there. The universe is here like a giant mirror going, like a giant replicating machine. Like, what do you want? Oh, you're full of fear. Okay, fear, 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 fear. What else do you want? What else do you want? I want to give you whatever you want. And you're going like, oh, this doesn't work out for me. Oh, I'm not lucky. Oh, I'm still carrying that guilt from this thing before. Like, whatever you're carrying, even if you don't think you're carrying it, if you're still carrying, it's part of the reflection that's coming back at you. So the mirror of reality around you, the way you perceive reality, is just a complete 100% biofeedback machine to show you where you are. And then you can change it, learn some magic, learn some mystery school, learn some energy work, increase your intuitive skills, get your words coherent with your voice, coherent with your inner mind, thoughts, beliefs, all of these things, get them moving in the same direction. You're going to catch the wave of the evolution right now so fast and just go, you're going to shift. Now, you're not going to shift in the ways you want to shift. So then you have to go, I'm going to let go and I'm going to be in the moment. And here in the moment, the now is the only thing that exists. And the eternal now is the abundant place. It's where everything is, everything is, everything is, everything is, everything is. You have to declare it. You have to say it. You have to believe it. You have to choose it. You have to continue to do that over and over and over in whatever way that is for you until you're literally standing there with a mug of it going, delicious. Okay, I'm just going to check on you guys. Yeah, isn't it funny? I've been seeing that word guided recently because it's a common word. I've used it for heavens knows how long, and I like that. I like the idea of, instead of saying this is an angel or an animal or this or that, it's just a guide. It's a spirit guide. That's great. But guide seems so official, maybe, in the sense that it has to take a certain form, which of course it doesn't. And we can rewire what we think and feel about that, can't we? Yeah. I love that we all have an important piece to play in creating abundance of peace, and our peace creates more peace. Yes. Yes. That really touched me. Here's the thing. When we realize that actually helping other people is helping ourselves, and it's not just a nice thing to say to yourself to not feel guilty, because you probably have been giving to everybody else and trying to please other people and do things for reasons that are just for the money, or just for the, peace, or just for the be responsible or whatever, So we all do that. That's part of the journey. So what? But what is so profound to me is the Mayan mindset is so wow. There's this cosmic level where they're predicting all the way out and mapping the Milky Way, while Europe was still thinking that the world was flat and sending people out to here, and they thought they were going to India. And so it's just interesting to think about the way that we've been raised was the opposite, to think the opposite thing. So here's the Mayan mindset. If you were born into this really divine, beautiful experience, right? You said to yourself, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to come into a body. I'm going to come into a life. I want to do this thing. Let's get a council together. What's going on? What are my options? Ooh, I want to go there. Okay. I want to go there because if I go there, the minute I'm born, my purpose is going to be seen, tracked, respected, supported by my elders, by my family, by everybody. Then I am going to go into a community that knows that the individual is number one. Okay. And this is something you can see that's clearly been erased from our current paradigm of beliefs in our culture and our politics and things, is the individual is almost like the last thing. Like you're not important. You have to put everyone else first, and we'll decide what that looks like, and so on and so forth. The individual must come first because they're the individual building blocks. If it's a puzzle and it's missing even one piece, it's not complete, and it's not strong, it's not full, and it can't function at its greatest health. The Maya understood time. They understood sacred cycles. So they knew that all this huge thing wasn't just like, I'm here for 30 years, 60 years, 100 years, whatever it is. They were like, wow, I get to come in to this body, to this place, and I get to observe this stuff, and I get to understand these cycles, and I get to see what's going to come. And then I get to receive that information for the greatest good of my community and everyone on earth coming in the future, so that I can put it down, that everybody coming will know this is what has happened, this is what is coming, and here's your era, this is what's going to happen in your era. Okay, because every era is different. The Sphinx in Egypt was built in the era of Leo. You just have to look at go to any website that will track time of, we're in the age of Aquarius now, right? Then there was the age of Capricorn and the age of Leo and the age of everything. So the age of Leo, and a lot of times it'll tell you if you're at a sacred temple, if you're at a sacred site, if you're in a sacred tradition that seems to be focused on a particular star or planet or orientation, it probably has to do with where and when they were orienting their activations, their manifestations into form. Now, the Maya, like a lot of other civilizations, ascended. Most of them just disappeared. And like many other civilizations, they ascended to another level. They're working with us from another dimension. And this is common for many, many cultures. And they can come back into form. They can start to seed us. They can come to us. They can come through us. The wisdom is preserved at that higher level, which is why I like to tune in to ancient wisdom in a way that is, I learn some, I experience some, I go to a place where I have my own personal communication with that stone or that temple or that pyramid or that whatever, that concept or that land or those people. And I keep taking my experience. I'm increasing my knowledge, but not through reading everybody else's Google that was replaced by someone else's Google and copied over 10 million times that maybe was never right in the first place. This is why I call myself a ancient mysteries solver, because you can read books and books and books, but most of them are spouting the same thing, or they're one person's perspective, or they're saying things that the Spanish said when they came, or they're coming from a different culture's perspective. They didn't know the Maya. They didn't know the sacred perspective of the Maya. And if you don't know the mind map, the cosmovision of a culture, you have no way to understand and interpret anything that they've done. And yet the scholars and the archaeologists and a lot of the scientists tend to not even talk to the people from that lineage in that area, or respect or read any of the sacred wisdom. They separate all of that. And that goes back to a time when in our human history, there was an agreement between the Catholic Church and the Renaissance, the Reformation or the Renaissance, like Leonardo da Vinci. Will you leave us alone to explore? This is an age of enlightenment, just like we're in right now. And they were constantly hounded and killed by the church. And he said, I want peace. I want to create an agreement. And how about you do your churchy thing and you save souls all you want? And we'll go over here and we'll explore the universe, and we'll explore the planets, and all these new amazing things that are coming up to us, new ways of doing art and inventions, and all the things that came to light in the Age of Enlightenment. And we have cycles that way. You can see it. You had your 20s, and then you had your 60s, and then you have now. And so it's an earth cycle energy. But what happened is that, I don't know if you guys know this, but it's kind of interesting, is the shroud of something, Turin or something, that is like a cloth that has sort of an imprint of a man's face and then parts of his body, and that the church has, and says that it covered Jesus when he was dead after the cross and all this kind of stuff. I don't know the exact story, okay? And I'm not trying to upset anybody, but this is what Leonardo da Vinci said, is that he went to the church, and their agreement was he made that. It's actually his face. He did all different kinds of photography and exposures and all kinds of really cool things that he knew how to do as an inventor and an artist to create it. And then he gave it to them. And he said, I'll give you a miracle if you will leave us alone. So it was an interesting thing because you could get upset, of course, if it's part of your faith and it upsets you. I apologize, but you can just choose to not believe me. So that's fine too, right? But what I find is interesting is that he said, what is the greatest good of everybody? We are all just popping, right? Like we're just all waking up like this. We need to get a safe space. So instead of just going through being a martyr, going through suffering, going through an environment that way. I don't know. I'm not saying it's good or bad, but what a fascinating thing to realize why the art and the science and the music, everything that bloomed at that time was allowed to happen. But what happened is, this is a lot in that movie, What the Bleep, Down the Rabbit Hole. If you look at that, they say in the beginning, there was the separation of church and state, the separation of science and church. And they were like, okay, but you don't mess with spirituality. You go do science and don't you dare ever mention spirituality. That's ours. We are the masters of spirituality and we will talk to the people about spirituality. And you will talk to the people about science and whatever other thing. But don't you dare mention source God or whatever, and they have to come to us to have that. And then it was okay, fine. So it was a barter, it was a compromise in order to make progress with something. And you could believe whatever you wanted if you had the freedom to create. You just had to be not in somebody's face about it. Well, what happened was we took that way too seriously, and all this time later now we're still trying to separate science from spirituality, and all science is really doing is confirming what spirituality has been telling us for a million years. So the two can come together. Whatever one helps you is good, but realize that everything's an illusion and everything has a different perspective. And if depending where you grew up, you're going to think something's good or bad. Depending what family you grew up in, you're going to like some food or hate some food. If you don't get out and travel. And I can tell you right now, I hear things about countries that are doing a lot of manipulation, a lot of gaslighting to people living inside of them and making them full of fear and making them not travel and making them think that if you go out in the world, terrible things are going to happen to you. And they aren't. Get up, get out of your town, get out of your state, get out of your country, travel, meet people, look them in the eye, see the wonder, see the beauty, see the truth of humanity is that we are a weaving of incredible artistic value, beauty, love, peace, people doing amazing things, and people who aren't greedy and people who aren't running after success and thinking that's the only thing in life. There is real life out there. I live one. So honestly, that is so important. If you don't have a passport, I think you're crazy. I wouldn't live ever in this climate of this world right now without a passport. I need to know I can go whenever I want to go. Get that thing, put in your pocket, tell the universe I'm ready. If the road is opening something great for me, I'm ready. I can go. I can say yes. Why do you want barriers? Why do you want to hold yourself back? Why do you want to believe you can't? Why do you want to speak that story? Don't do it. Don't live it. Live your story, right? So this beautiful universe is that you are a puzzle piece, and the health of the whole community depends on the individual. So if we don't take care of the individual, then the whole community is going to be unhealthy. It's going to be unprosperous. It's going to be stressed. It's going to have all the things we have right now in our society. Disease and abuse and anger and thinking it's okay to treat people the way you treat people. I mean, my goodness, I don't even, it's just weird. It's like a whole other weird alien space that I don't understand how it could ever be okay to say, oh, well, they can treat their children any way they want. They own them. No, they don't. Treat women any way you want, treat judge this person, judge that person, hoard just for yourself, don't care about anybody. No, but this isn't about running around and trying to tell everybody everything's wrong, because it's all a reflection of us. So then we get to dive in here. So if you're a piece of the puzzle, you're important, but the whole picture is what's important to everyone. And if everybody cares about the whole picture, then they don't. And that includes, it's very hard for us to come from a European background, believing in kings and queens and lords that all have power over you. And generally we're not nice and did a lot of evil shit and killed each other and imprisoned people and started wars and took stuff and tortured people and killed people and on and on and on, right? We know the whole blah, 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 blah. They made us memorize it all over and over. They're still making children memorize war, and it's whatever. So that's just part of the fabric of what we've been living in. But you know what? Is that the community that you came to be a part of, the global community? Do you want the war? Because my fabric is not including war. I don't believe in war. I've never believed in war. I don't believe in guns. I never believed in them. And yes, Chris says, well, I lived in Alaska and I hadn't taken a gun with me. When I went out in case a bear attacked me, and I went, okay, but you didn't go hunting the bear, right? So Dalai Lama says it's okay to protect yourself if there's a life-threatening thing, and that includes a mosquito. Otherwise, live and let live. So then that changes our perspective, because in our societies, mostly it's about me. It's about my safety and my comfort, and you shouldn't do that, and you shouldn't do that, and I want you around, but I don't want you around, and I'm going to make a rule against you, and I need a lot of money before I feel safe, and I need this, and I need that. So that is an ego-based focus on the needs that are based in fear. Those are lies. Those are illusion. They're not spirits. They're not truth, because everything is abundant. It's all here. But your perspective is creating that. So now, if you live inside of a community, imagine that everybody knows their purpose and everybody supports that person living their purpose. Not one single person is saying, why are you doing that? That's stupid. Or you should do what your dad did. Or why didn't you join the military? Our whole family's always joined the military. Or, oh, I guess you don't want to do what the family does, and we're not good enough for you. So family bullying, criticizing, these things are used in our society to keep us in alignment. We're put in schools to memorize war, dates of war, names of people who killed each other, and think they're great because they were faster at killing the other person than the other person killing them. What is great about that? Now, if you say, we protected freedom, we freed the slaves, there's another level to that. And there's also another way to do it. Look at Gandhi. It's almost the only person on the planet who won an entire enormous war against one of the greatest powers in the whole world through peace. But he believed it, and he was unwilling to waver, right, in that commitment to that. So then you're vital, and everybody in the community believes and knows that you're vital, and they know they're vital. Now you don't have people walking around not feeling good enough, not feeling loved, feeling left out. Yeah, we all have that trauma. We do. We all have abuse, and we all have trauma. We weren't loved right, and we didn't get enough of this, and we didn't have the right education, and it could have happened this, and it would have been nice to have more support. I agree, but it is what it is. So what's the purpose in that? Am I going to gain any power? Am I going to gain any insight? Am I going to feel happier by repeating the old story of pain? No. So I'm not going to tell it anymore. Stop telling the old story. Stop telling other people the story. Stop telling yourself the story. Stop saying, oh, look, there it is again. I still catch myself sometimes doing that. Well, blah. Cacao. That was a pattern interrupt, in case you didn't know what I was doing, crazy lady. So you're a puzzle piece, and you're inside of this puzzle. And if you feel valued and know you have a piece and you want to live your piece, it means you want to be you. You want to be the best you can have. You want to discover who you are. You want to learn to be who you are. You want to remember who you were in other lives that would help you. You want to know what gods will help you, what spirits will help you, what chants will help you, what practices will help you, what time of day will help you. And not only that you will be walking around on your own doing that, no, the whole entire village will be designing and helping you be on that path, supported in that path, given everything you need every step of the way. Now, everybody's the same. Everybody's getting what they need. Everybody's seen for who they are. Everybody's supported in learning. Everybody is getting on their path. And if you are me, I'm an Ish, which is the pure sacred feminine energy of a grandmother Ish Mukane, and the heart of the earth, and Jaguar. And Jaguar is high magic, deep medicine, between the worlds, and a lot of other things. But the thing about it is that it's the sign of the shaman. And so if I had been born Maya, I would have known from day one, and everybody would have known I was supposed to be a shaman. And so I would have been being like, well, she needs to have this training, and she needs to have this upbringing, and she needs to do this during the day, not that. And who cares if she can, cook the beans? She's going to go over here and cook the herbs, and you don't have to struggle to fight for what you want or to know what you want. You get to bloom inside of it, think inside of it, dream inside of it. You learn that you're divine. Everyone in the Mayan world was raised in a priestess, a sacred path to a certain degree. If you weren't meant to be a priestess or a healer or a medicine man or a seer or an oracle or a shaman or something, you had a different role. Even the king and the queen and the high priestess and the guide and the architects and the tortilla maker or whatever, I don't know. Okay, they all had a place, and it was valued just as highly. The king was not seen as better. The king was not put in a castle above people. He was put through rigorous, or her through rigorous, really intense training. Not an easy role to play. You had to be a priest, and you had to be constantly in communication with the elements, with the spirits, with the other worlds, doing these sacred medicines, doing these sacred processes, because you had to make choices for your entire community that kept them safe. That means you had to know if the hurricane was coming. You had to know if the Spanish were going to come and kill everybody. You had to know things in the future. You had to be a time teller. You had to be a seer. You had to be an oracle. You had to be powerful enough to handle saying to people, we're going to do it this way, right? But you did it from a role you were playing, again, for the greatest good of the whole, so that in the individuals inside of it could bloom and blossom and do their job the best. Now, if you keep thinking about the ripples of being inside of a reality, of a belief, of a mindset, of a community, a village, of people who all think this way, it's crazy. Then everybody's full of joy doing what they do. Everybody feels fulfilled. Everybody feels seen. Everybody feels satisfied. There was equality, incredible equality, right? And then this really, really shows us the truth that sounds kind of abstract and esoteric, that if you take care of yourself, you give to others. If you give to yourself, you give to others. If you prosper, others prosper. If you, do the things that you love, that it's the best thing to help other people. It's the opposite of how we were taught to help other people. We were taught to abandon ourselves, abuse ourselves, stress ourselves, exhaust ourselves, and to believe that we weren't connected to divine infinite supply also. So that was the only way you can get exhausted, if you forget that you're constantly being refilled nonstop, like we learn in the class, right? So then you are exhausted, you feel frustrated, you feel unfulfilled, you feel unheard, you feel unseen, you probably don't even know what it is you want exactly. You have some things in your life you like, but some things don't work out. You chase something down, you work, you give it your heart, your whole, didn't work out, now you're pissed, you think spirit's full of shit. Okay, there's this cycles you can run down off the path on all these things, and it's okay. However, if you were in the center, if you were doing your spiritual work first, if you were listening to the day energies, if you were listening to your inner, if you were balancing your light body, if you were going back to believe that I am a piece in the divine fabric of life, I have a very important purpose here. I have a very important mission here. And that mission is not just for me to be happy. Oh, I came in this time to have a lot of money and to not have to work hard and to get to go give to a lot of charities and buy art and pet kitties. That's what I want in this life. Sounds kind of fun, actually. But I'm like, that's fine. Okay. You're not hurting anybody. But you coming in, then where is that overflow? How is that overflowing, right? How is that overflowing? How is that coming in? Because you're not meant to come in only to light your own life. And that's another thing we've been taught in the Western world, is that we are meant to work for ourselves, keep it and hoard it and say, well, too bad for you. I'm sorry you have nothing, but look at me. I have lots of stuff, lots of this, that, the other thing, money, and then whatever. So there's a lot of things to that. There's nothing wrong with having a lot of money, stocks, bonds, and cars. I don't care. There isn't anything wrong making money. Certainly, we're all meant to make money. Certainly, the universe is standing there saying, here's your money if you want the money, or here's whatever you want if you want that. If you would just believe it and say it and get back on the laws, then you can have it all right now, right here. Stop running around playing this silly game. Right. So we don't know we're playing a silly game, and it's very embedded, like, oh, I'm behind. Oh, things would creep around inside my head not that long ago. Okay, I know you're following your spiritual thing and you're being relaxed and you're letting spirit tell you where to go and you're not seeing the results yet, but it's okay because you believe in the results and you're doing all of this, but so we are in a bigger structure of something where once we embody something, a truth, once we get over a fear, once we accept that we're worthy, it ripples out to everyone. So we are serving others when we serve ourselves, and we are doing things for the greater good when we do it for our good, because you not only give permission to yourself to value and love yourself, and then you see the benefit of that. And then when you're willing to embrace it and enjoy it, because most of us were given guilt to not enjoy being happy and getting what we want and having what we want, because there's this whole idea that there's only so much and you're taking away from other people. You can't take away from other people. You are not, if you have money come in, unless you stole it, like you went into their house and you stole it, literally, okay, you did not take money from anyone else. That little old lady down the road did not lose all her money because you decided you wanted money and the universe just went, oh, okay, she's got money. I'll take it away from her and give it to you. It's not possible. Okay, if you understood the laws of the universe, you can't create in somebody's other reality. They can't create in you. You're divine. You're inside of a body, and everything in your reality is you. Your seeds, it's what you're sowing, it's what you're believing, it's what you're watering or not watering, and therefore other people can't take your stuff either. But if you believe they can, that could be happening in your reality. So it's very complex. Okay, I'm just going to take a moment and see. I just thought I'd get on and see what wanted to come through, and I feel like maybe there's a beautiful, yeah, I will. There's something pretty for us to see. Let's see something pretty. Infuse your life with beauty, please. Just do it. Don't keep going day by day with something that you find annoying, frustrating, getting your way, clutter, boxes of stuff you can't decide what to do with, or, thoughts or mindsets or things you think that you didn't do right or should do. Okay. So I kind of call this Gaia's Crystal Cave. I came home from Greece. I was going to say Egypt. No. Greece a couple of years ago. And so much comes through when you go on sacred ceremony, when you go on sacred retreat, when you do this kind of deep inner work. You explore, you transform, you gain, you become, and then there's a lot of integrating to happen. And I said, I can't keep up with writing this in a journal. I can't keep up with teaching this in a class. It's coming through me too fast. What do I do? And Gaia said, just start talking. Just turn on the recorder and start talking. So it's kind of a gift and an idea for you. If you're the same way, if you're channeling, or even when you're thinking, you're like, what is going on? Or why am I so stuck here? You can do a little reverie of that. And then as you go, I'm exploring this. I'm looking for the doorway in this. I'm looking for the truth in this. I'm not speaking this to create it. I'm not speaking this to believe it. I'm speaking it into this vortex so that it like a centrifuge, it can separate for me and show me what's really going on. So Atlantis, live channeling, and divination. Okay, that sounds fun. Let's do that. You can see I'm not all in my body yet after my pilgrimage. I don't know. I am starting a school. My school is starting, and I'm going to be inviting people to speak with me soon. And it's taking shape. It's going to be called the Priestess Path, but it's for men and women. The Priestess Path means we're going to be exploring the sacred feminine aspect of the divine, the Maya, the Celtic, the Egyptian. We're going to be going into Atlantis, Lemuria. We're going to be doing divination, learning ritual, learning ceremony, learning sacred language. We're going to be opening these ancient wisdoms, the scripture, the symbols, the alchemy, whatever it is that is most important for us right now, and are aligned to the fire. So the elements are coming back, and the priestesses of fire from here in Uxmal. So both retreats I'm doing will be going to Uxmal, which is the Sacred Feminine University of the Maya. Maybe that's what we should look at. And this is the pyramid that I went to this week. This is called Kinichkakmo, which means the Holy Spirit. So I sat and did ceremony with the Holy Spirit, and I'll be doing this in a few days. So come back, and then do remember to get into this opportunity coming in March. Okay, we're not going to let it be very big, too big, so we can keep it sacred, doing the ceremonies with our elder, getting these opportunities to have private things. This is going to be very profound. And then, of course, you can still join the ancestor magic. And I've gone ahead and surrendered and added the word Maya because we really are deep in the Maya wisdom. And so I think what I really want to do is, if I can find it, give me one moment if I'm able to find this. So when we have the piece of the puzzle is understanding that we're really important, that we're vital, we stop looking for that confirmation outside of us, right? So I spent much of my life looking for that confirmation that I was loved, that I was good enough outside of me, from my parents, from my ex, from whoever, from whoever would be there. And it was, I didn't realize how I was never filled. It was never enough. It was just like nobody could affirm for me enough for me to truly feel that I was good enough and that I was filled. And you may have different versions of this kind of. However, the thing is that that's because I was seeking love and fulfillment and satisfaction from outside of me. I was literally looking in the mirror and saying, feed me, love me, come over here and give me a hug. You should have given me a hug. Why didn't you give me a hug? I want you to give me a hug, And so we really have an opportunity now to turn things around and bring us into a place where we never again, okay, honestly, never again surrender our brilliance to anything and allow ourselves, wow, I don't know what that is, allow ourselves to be running along our own path, unaware of the gifts that are here, unaware of who we are, what we're meant to be in each moment. We're passing up doorways where we could have been the key to something profound, where if we had stayed present and in our love, we would have received a powerful gift, a new friend. I could have met Chris maybe 10 years earlier. I'm not actually saying worry about timing. Please don't worry about timing. Please don't worry about timing. However, the biggest thing that is so incredibly profound in this moment is that we are no longer really allowed to have the luxury of playing in our victimhood, of speaking against ourselves, using the word against us, using symbols against us, declaring things that aren't true that we don't want, speaking that language, agreeing to stories, hanging out with people who are negative, believing and feeding our mind, body, and soul this negative story. Oh, well, if this happens, then that's going to happen. And if that happens, then that's going to happen. And that's going to happen. Oh my God, who are you giving your power to? Do you realize you're a creator? And you're giving your mind and letting some abstract person who you don't even know if they know shit, and why would they? Sorry, run off with your thoughts. Well, if that happens, then the money market does this, and then that might happen, and then I'll lose everything, and then do you know what an incredible waste of time that is? In fact, it is not a waste of time. You are actually pulling the avalanche onto your head. You are actually creating that reality. You're giving it more and more power every time you say it, every time you speak it, every time you listen to it, every time you agree to it. And then if your mind is arguing with it now, well, but it is, there it is, then okay, that's your reality because it's not in mine. Okay. And you have to declare something else to be your piece in the puzzle to create the world you came to create. Are you creating a world of war, a world of wonder? Are you creating a world of peace, or a world of pain. Okay. We don't want that anymore. I don't want that anymore. I'm ready to say, yes, I am responsible for my words. I am responsible for my feelings. I am responsible for everything that's happened. And I am responsible for this moment and what is next. Okay, goody. Now I don't have to wait. I don't have to wait for anybody else to show up. I don't have to wait for anyone else to give me permission. I'm responsible. I took this job. I took this agreement. I came into this body. I chose this moment. There's a lot of power right here. There's potential that's going crazy all around me. What am I doing? Am I taking advantage of it? Am I being present to it? Am I surrendering my priorities? Am I re-examining my life? Am I looking at who I'm chasing, what I'm believing in, what I believe, who has my power, who has my money? Why am I not asking for more? Why am I not believing it's coming? Where the hell is it? This is not the conversation. We have to shift it. Watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it. It'll instantly shift. You're going to get results so fast right now. It's going to like boggle your mind, Hi, Stephanie. I live in the boonies. Yeah, bears, coyotes, cougars, deers, and I encounter a bear. They run the other way. No one carries guns. I'm so glad. We have to admit that we got fed all the wrong diet. Detoxification on level is necessary. Yeah, and it's not about being mad at anybody. It's not about blaming anybody. It's just that's another big waste of time. Like, oh, these people should have, and you should have, and they didn't. Blah, 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 blah. Don't waste it. Just be like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, that was one version of this story, and thank you. I'm done. I've graduated. I'm turning in my keys. I'm moving to a new place. Right. Child born in Tibet in a Buddhist family, yes. 5 years of age, the child got exposed to it since it was in the womb. Yeah. Yeah. What are we exposed to since we're in the womb? Well, I don't know about you, but I grew up in the US, and the culture that I was in was work hard, be a good person, follow the rules, don't, obey the laws, pay your bills on time, get good grades, be successful, but don't think you're great, and keep working hard. And if you're suffering and working really, really hard, then we approve and we'll give you a pat on the back every now and then. But don't expect a whole lot of praise and excitement about anything. And then don't embarrass us, right? And just be responsible. And it was not that, my parents did support me and going into unusual pathways, and they do love me. So, but that was the mindset. That's how they were raised. That's how you responsibly took care of your children. That's how you responsibly raised your family. So that's why I said you don't understand a culture until you get there, and then you live there, and then you had to be born there. There's a point where you realize I will never get down into the level of that being the core. However, we can go back to our own sacred inner knowing, our sacred inner truth that has that place of the roots that go directly to who we are meant to be, so we can bypass the conversation and the stories of everybody else. So, okay, I think I found a pretty picture for us to enjoy and see if anything else wants to come out. Oh, well, that wasn't the one I was going to share, but I'll show you a little bit of my, actually, this is the one. So during my pilgrimage, I was out around 2 to 6 a.m. And much to my delight and shock, my phone can take pictures of the stars. So you can see there, you've got Orion, and we can see the Pleiades, and there's the moon. There's more stars, different orientations, and of course Venus would rise, and it was easy to see Mercury because it was so red. Now there's another view of Orion, and always enjoyed Venus, except for 2 of the days. This was only one day. 2 of the days it was very cloudy and there was no sunset, no sunrise at all. So that was my fire ceremony, and here's some sunrise energies. That's dew. Dew in the morning. And this is the tree of life with her eyes. You see grandmother tree. This is another day. This is the city I was in. It's very charming. We are going there in March. It's going to be our very first day with Maria and I, and we are going to this beautiful town. It's only an hour away. Has exquisite food, and it's absolutely charming. It's all painted this yellow, and it is filled with pyramids. So give me a second. I am going to scroll down. I wanted to find a different place for us to look at. Do. We're going all these places. Here we are. So we're going to just tune in and see if anything else wants to come through today for our highest good. Oh, there's a little dragon. So I don't know if you can see it right there in the front is an iguana. That's our dragon energy. And a dragon is someone who has become a master of all the elements. So people that we respect, like Buddha or Jesus or Thoth or Itzamna, or they're dragons. And what does that mean? That means that they have mastered fire, earth, air, water, and their own personal element of ether or akasha, their own personal. And then they are able to function as a master on a different level with us. So this is Ushmal. This is the pyramid of the moon, which means it's the feminine moon, the feminine pyramid. It is 3 pyramids inside of it, and it is called the pyramid of the seer or magician, and is very connected to this beautiful place. This is what it looks like from a different perspective. And right next to it is the Sacred Feminine University. So my school this year is activating and opening the Sacred Maya Cosmic Feminine University. That since the first time I heard about it about 8 or 9 years ago, my body started vibrating. Now I have wisdom keepers and other people are going to come and be a part of it. It's going to be online all year, and we're going to be visiting these sites in different pilgrimages and retreats throughout the year, the next few years. And we will be activating ourselves here, reconnecting with the priestesses, the sacred training, the sacred feminine training. And a lot of what I've been sharing with you goes to the foundation of understanding that if your purpose here is to walk a sacred path, your purpose here is to understand your sacredness, the universe, the functioning of the universe, all this mystery school stuff to a small degree, to a certain degree. Then you do what you were meant to do. If you were meant to walk a path as a visionary, as an artist, as a healer, as a sacred architect, as a seer, oracle, healer, shaman, priestess, guide, spiritual advisor, leader of some kind, then this is the time for you to remember your training. You've had it before. We've had it before. This is the courtyard of the birds. And there are birds like you cannot believe, carvings, but also birds that come and do vortex work with us. This is my beloved. I didn't know anything about it when I first went there. My heart opened as I walked up and saw this pyramid. I began to heart weave with it. And ever since then, anytime I get anywhere near it, my heart automatically opens and starts pounding and saying, my beloved, my beloved, my beloved, my beloved, my beloved, my beloved. Now, I knew I had lived in many of these places and I had been feeling that other places, but I didn't understand exactly what my connection was here until I understood the Sacred Feminine University, and that specifically the priestesses of the sacred fire were trained here. So this is next year is the year of the fire. So we're going to be doing the priestess training of the sacred fire. And it is extremely powerful, extremely beautiful. And of course, learning all the other elements along with it. So you could take a look at, download some of these symbols. This is that door way up at the top there, which we are not allowed to go to. This is what it looks like around it. Everything here was covered in carvings. These are the abundance god chalk. These are symbols of above, below, water, earth, eyes, vortexes into the other universes. This is just filled with information. I'm fascinated with what's over the door. Those what look like little triangles, little pyramids above and below going across the front of the door. You see that replication on the left side of the screen where you see almost like X's, but inside they're like a step pyramid. They go down like this, and the priestesses of the sacred fire actually had a special haircut. They cut their bangs like that. Now that there's deep symbolism in all of these things, so I'm just sharing it so you could receive it without needing to know anything specifically. Yeah, I feel very emotional and moved. This is one of my favorite places. I'm very excited to go there with Miguel Angel, a priest and my wisdom keeper in December and in March, and enter in a sacred way by doing ceremony on a hill before or in a cave, and really entering in sacred grace and sacred path. The same as when we walk with Maria and we go to Stonehenge, we walk in because she knows that it was built as a goddess temple. She knows what was the original way to enter the temple. Where are the healing stones? Where are the stones that welcome you in? Which ones are the ones you see first? Which ones cleanse you so you don't bring your negativity into the sacred space? So I feel very breathless, so happy. I've lived here for 10 years. I had no idea I was staying. I had no idea I was coming. I had no idea that I would still want to be here. It becomes deeper and deeper every year. This is right in front of the pyramid. This is the courtyard. That is the school. So all those are classrooms. They go on all four sides with carvings above them, explaining what they're learning, evolution, gender, sexuality, sacred sexuality, all these things. There's still beautiful carvings there showing us. And when you're here, you will see and feel the priestesses walking around, talking. They'll definitely connect with you. This is at the top of the Great Pyramid. And like if you've been in my class recently or been on my retreat, that when you come here, you see snakes that have a person coming out, jaguar heads with the man coming out of the face, the mouth. And those are very, very powerful. They're very, very revered. They're very respected. There's different ways that those are known. Some is that you are embodying the power of the jaguar. You've become a Balaam. You have become a jaguar wisdom keeper, a jaguar warrior. And now you embody that, okay? Some is if it's the serpent that you are being swallowed by unconditional love and sacred knowledge, which is what that represents. And now you are emerging with that wisdom and with that love, that knowledge. So this is up at the top of a pyramid, not well known. And they carved the faces. You see the third eye there? These eyes, very strangely and uniquely. Sometimes the eyes look like spirals, sometimes they look like something else, and they all have deep symbolism, deep meaning. Some of them, if they have something going around the eyes, it's solar. They're channeling the sun. If their mouth is looking strange, it means that the light is coming out of their mouth. It's moving. It's not static. It's very, very interesting, very brilliant. This is a old retreat. We go through these different passageways after our activations, and I love the freedom that she felt. She came to 2 retreats. She was the one that actually asked for it to go to 11. To go to 7 days from 5. So we did that. That was a while back. So beautiful energies. And here again, you can see the pyramid of the seer. Here we can see more dragons, more vortexes of infinity and reality and connecting time and space, and worms. They understood time and space as cycles better than anyone. And the Atlanteans were, the Maya were seated by Pleiades and Atlantis, and they're very aware of that as woven into everything. The town I went to is all the pyramids were built there based on Atlantis. The pyramids are based on the technology of Atlantis. And they're Atlantean guardians, these dragons, these iguanas, and they are at all the ancient temples. Just all the ancient temples. And this is actually called the Golden Library of Atlantis. So the stones hold memories, bones hold memories, crystals hold memories, and it's built up in power over time. Any place people have been doing a ceremony is built up with great, great power. This is all at Uxmal, the Sacred Feminine University. And this is, again, this is a different view of that courtyard, and this has a different view, different carvings on it. Now, this is the Temple of the Sun. Maybe this is the Temple of the Sun. Yeah, this is the Temple of the Sun. I'm sorry. This is the masculine temple. It's up on a high place, and there is the dual-headed masculine feminine balanced and spiraling together jaguar throne, which when you sat on that gave you the power of being the center of the universe, weaving that sacred spiral of the universe up your spine through your DNA, and being the vision. Jaguar passes between dark and night, is the sun, and is the midnight sun that goes through the night, can see in the dark, is the mother. So these Atlantean replicas and symbols, and they found a vortex here and created that. And here you can see these this pyramid symbols on the bottom there are dual-headed serpents. On the end of each of those layers is a serpent head. And this is your Kundalini. This is your life force. These are dimensions. These are living energy. This is living energy that is pulsing through the universe. The X's in between is showing you all that substance, all that divine substance that's there, layers and layers. So all the beautiful things that you get to embody and learn when you are there, you get to be a part of. Such an incredible place. All right, so I think we'll go back and we'll look at, I like this one. All right, let's take another minute. I am just overflowing with heat here. I don't know about you. When you activate your spiritual energies, which I'm doing almost nonstop now, you tend to raise the sacred fire in your body. Thank you. I needed to get a little sip there. Okay. We give our sovereignty away when blaming others. Absolutely. If it's the other, well, I can't change anything. No, the great power, Stephanie, the truth in that is so profound and so weird. I mean, the jungle that I had to go through for years to really understand what that meant, when you're like, I have to go talk to them because what they said upset me. Well, the upset was inside of you. So you go inside of you, talk to you, but it's right now, it's so profound. The boomerang is so fast. And what we're doing in my class is insisting that we step out of karma into grace, that we no longer have debt. We live in infinite flow. Everything is done. Everything's fine. And that's part of that realizing, coming back into what am I believing, even if I don't understand where it is in my subconscious that's creating this reflection. A lot of your reality is old reflection, right? Old family and old stuff, but we can't blame that. We have to keep purifying until, more and more and more and more of our reality is based on our current empowered, desired, spoken purpose, blueprint, and belief. So, hi, Sonique Rose. Beautiful. I know, right? Finally responding. not blaming anyone. I'm starting to see my sovereignty and abundant future. Exactly. You know, it's such a catch-22 because you think you're being the nice person by not blaming others, but then you're going, but you're being mean to me. I can tell you it is a hamster wheel. You can't get off of it until you just unplug, right? You just pull back. And so for me, getting away from my house, going, even if you just go to the local park or you just drive around or you sit outside at night, you know, like just wow, get outside of the noise, get in the energy that's pure, purify, you know. I did so much drumming. Well, I do a lot of drumming and I do a lot of rattle, a little bit of chimes when I'm by myself doing ceremony because I go where I can drum, 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 and nobody can hear me. So it's fabulous. You only have to understand your spiritual path to a small degree to get started. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's so fun because it's there, it's waiting. It's like everything is just going, you ready? You ready? You ready? Okay, okay, come on, let's go this way. Da-da, 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 and off you go, you know, down there. So just believe, and little kitties and happy lovey-dovey's will come to you. It's so funny because I love to say that and then laugh at myself, at people in my life who would say that's so silly and unrealistic. And then I think, yeah, but then go a little bit deeper into the mysteries. It's very realistic to say that because then my life is that way. Yay. All right. Ooh, grandmother. So this is Ishel here. I don't know if you can see. Ishel is Mother Earth, Mother Moon, Mother Rainbow, fertility, women, abundance, highly revered, loved. And she represents the earth, the atmosphere, you know, the moon, the waters, the crystals, the dirts, the roots, the plants, the surface, and all the way down to a certain point. And then when you get to the center of the earth, Grandmother Ishmukane is the aspect of the mother that takes over representing for the Maya. And she is the transmuter. She composts. So she says, give me your ego, give me your pain, give me what I want. I'm going to reweave it. I'm going to blend it. I'm going to compost it. I'm going to give it back to you. Okay. And they work together to sort of be the earth mother energy. And they work together at this site of Uxmal to be the guides for the sacred priestesses of the fire, the sacred Uxmal priestesses of the sacred cosmic feminine university. So when we realize that we are in a body and we're here to be the voice of the divine, the hands, the words, the actions, that we are here to be the body, to go do things for the divine, then you could say, well, the priestess is the body, the voice, the hands of the goddess, right? That we are all the hands of the goddess, the divine spirit, the unfolding path of truth, light, and love. And we get to choose what our reality is and create a path of harmony, no matter how unrealistic anybody wants to tell you it is. Just say, la, 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 I don't hear you. That's not what I heard. That's not what I heard. That's not what I heard. Oh, I heard life, love, beauty, peace. Yep, it's here, it's here, it's mine, it's mine, it's here, it's mine. Okay. So let's go and see if not if, let's go have a little bit of a journey. Thank you, 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 thank you. So Ishel is seen as a maiden. Here's one of my oracle cards with her as a maiden. Here she is as a crone or a sage, I prefer. And she's seen as a mother. She's in my garden as a giant sculpture, kneeling as a maiden, holding a lotus flower. She also has the serpent on her head and an infinite weave symbol. And it just says that I've opened my inner eye, I'm connected to spirit. And it says, I've accepted and embodied my body, and I am human, and I've activated my kundalini, and I rest in peace. So look at the image reach if you wish. Close your eyes when you feel ready. And open your heart and open your mind to Ishel, to Ishmukane, to the Divine Earth Mother, the Divine Grandmothers. And we ask that the ancestors that are divinely aligned with beauty, love, light, and helping this new world be birthed into a place where we all came to play a part in creating in an infinite field of delight, joy, love, harmony. And I now choose to embody that. I now choose to embody that. I now choose to enter with my heart open. I'm here. I'm here. I love myself. I love my body. I enter this sacred space, aligning my heart with the Divine Mother. The Divine Mother holds me, helps me, heals me, stabilizes me, provides for me, and is infallible, constant, instant, and eternal. Now you feel yourself entering this courtyard. You're in a line of luminous women singing, chanting, drumming. Their light sparkles off of them, comes from their crowns. They have something on their foreheads, their gowns, drapes behind them. There seems to be fireflies and glowing lights all around the courtyard. The walls seem alive, as if light is glowing from inside of them. You see a sacred fire burning up in the temple above you. You wait, you pause, everyone breathes. The moon appears from behind a cloud. It shines down and everyone breathes, smiles. You feel the wave of joy. Ishal, Ishal, thank you for pouring your silver light down upon us, opening our powers of oracle, seer, healer, holding the vision for the world of light. Now you begin to slowly walk again, spiraling around the courtyard. Slowly, you see that your steps and all the priestess's steps leave light prints on the ground. The temples around you are richly painted in colors, the red, the green, the blue. It vibrates. You see it in the shadows, the torches, the candles, the light from the women, the light from the ancestors. Now you see and sense there's a glow. It's a bigger glow. It's coming from the center. You gather around it. In the center is a sacred stone. It begins to glow. It is radiating light. Light is coming up from the earth. Grandmother Ishmukane, Grandmother Ishmukane, Grandmother Ishmukane. Bring us your light. Bring us your love. Transmute our pain. Bring us to the power we carried. Bring us to the path we agreed to. Release us. Free us. Bless us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 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 Thank you, thank you, thank you, you stand here, you are becoming so luminous. You see and sense streams of light and energy pouring up from the earth, through the stones, into you, out of you, swirling up in spirals in the universe. You see beautiful sacred serpents of light flowing through the air, up and down the stairs of the temple. They're coming alive. They're moving around. You are moving in the world of sacred spirit. You are one. You can see the spirit. It is speaking to you. It is downloading sacred knowledge to you. You begin to dance. You dance, and in a circle, create a vortex of light. I am light. I am love. I am infinite. I am light. I am love. I am infinite. I am light. I am love. I am infinite. Now I awaken. Now I embody. Now I am here. Come to me, priestesses, grandmother, Michelle. Shower me with your gifts. Transmute my pain. Let me see my path. Let me walk my path. Let me raise my energy higher and higher and higher, and leave behind the pain and the discord. Leave behind the drama and the fear. It's an illusion. 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 It is gone. It is gone. It is gone. It is gone. I am light. I am light. Only light. 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 Only light. You now are held in the beautiful sacred temple of the pyramid of the moon by Mother Ishel. She holds you as if you are a baby. She rocks you and lays your head against her heart. You feel her heartbeat, her warmth, her love. You sink into her. You say, thank you. I accept. Thank you. I allow. Thank you. I surrender. Thank you. In that catch. Sinking deeper and deeper into the mother's arms, in the most holy space, being bathed by the earth energies pouring up through the center of the pyramid, being bathed by the moon, the stars, and the ancient cosmic energies coming through time and space. The ancestors circle you. Everyone is adoring you, blessing you, sending you energy. So excited that you are on your path again. So excited that you're remembering your vision. So excited that you're coming home, coming home, coming home. Yes, it's time to come home. I am that I am, Ea Esher Ea. I am the creator of my reality. I speak truth, and truth becomes my life. I weave the threads of my life with the colors and flavors I wish. I choose the chords of time and carefully work with Mother to weave the path, the road of life that most serves my highest purpose, my greatest power, my most wonderful peace, and my overflowing prosperity. I accept, and it is done. Now a great warrior of light covered in feathers, symbols of many initiations, of traveling worlds and dimensions, of knowing wisdom and knowledge of so many worlds and so many stars and so many professions, lifts you up, carries you down the steps of the sacred temple, carries you deep, deep, deep down into a sacred cave. In this cave, he lays you on a soft feather bed like a nest. This is the beautiful nest of divine love in your heart. This is the nest of the sacred serpent, the feathered serpent, who shows you to embody your spirit while you're in body, to change and transform and be fluid. And this is the place of all the divine love that you've never allowed yourself to fully receive. Now let go, release, allow yourself to fully accept and either drift off for a journey in your nest or bring it into your heart, feel yourself inside there, anchor it, and draw in a breath. I give great thanks for this sacred connection to the priestesses of the sacred fire of Uxmal, the Divine Mother and Grandmother, Ishali Ishmukane. Thank you to the divine energies that are here to support me, to guide me, to love me, to hold me. I now reveal my path. I follow my path. I hold the threads again of my life. I make the choice. I choose my words. I follow my heart. I am filled with love, luminous with light, overflowing with abundance of grace, ease, and joy. And so it is. So it is. And so it is. It is done. Now, as you come back into your body and into the moment, you have traveled time, you have traveled space, you've created a new path, a new connection to these divine energies. And these ancestors are calling you. They're calling you. What is the wisdom that they will give you? What is the wisdom you can give them? What is the wisdom you can co-create? How can you embody your piece of the puzzle now? Now. 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 So I always encourage you to take your time to come back in your body after these deep activations, because this is not a meditation. This is a multidimensional journey. This is a mystery school. It's an energy healing, a light body activation, a reconnection with divine spirit, an opening of new dimensions, a creating of new worlds, and many other things. So thank you for doing that with me and taking a moment to spend this beautiful day with me. I'm going to drift off now into a new reality. I hope that these wisdoms are really resonating for you, because I find all the cultures I've studied over the years, the Greek ancient mysteries, the Celtic ancient mysteries, the goddess, the Wiccan, the Egyptian mystery schools, 3 different Egyptian mystery schools, 16 years in the Celtic school. I love all of them, working with the Lakota Sioux and understanding more and more of the indigenous cultures, and the Native Americans, working with the Maya, some of the Egyptian. These are all cultures that have their own language, their own perspective, their own symbols. And yet what we're seeing now is people are realizing, we're waking up and seeing this thing in Egypt is already in the Maya land, and this thing on Mars is also over here, and this thing is here, and it meant that. Everybody's saying the same thing in a different way. And some say it in a wisdom we can hear better at different times in our life. So I'm glad you went on the journey with me with the sacred Mayan wisdom. I have found it to be the absolute pinnacle so far of my life, to bring together and weave love, understanding, equality, wisdom, spirit, brilliance, great foresight, being a prophet, being a seer, being everything. The idea of their reality is so intriguing to me that I walk around imagining I live in a reality like that until I do. So join me. think about living in the reality that we talked about and share with me. Come join my class, come join a retreat. Let me know what you would like to hear on these shows. If you know wonderful people we can play with, and go out and bless the world with the love that you've just received. Thank you, Ishal. Thank you, Ishmukane. Thank you to the priestesses of fire. Thank you, Ishko, Ish, Kowi Zak, the goddess of the mother, sacred fire aspect. Thank you to the pathways we walk, to this beautiful day of ebb, and this beautiful gathering that we've had together. May this circle be open yet unbroken, and the peace and love and prosperity that has come to us today walk with us in every breath and every step, in every touch and every word. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. In Lak'ech, Alakin. Thank you, everybody. Namaste. You're so welcome for the beautiful experience. Wow. Yeah, it was fun, right? That was a beautiful journey, Hans. I'm so glad. Yeah, I had no idea what I was going to talk about. I just know there's so much energy moving through me right now. I'm just going to show up and talk and channel and letting it, surrendering to that, going, oh, is this good? Are people going to like this? And just following the path. And then that was nice and short. So, the replay will be ready in seconds now. And I'm going to listen to that beautiful activation there tonight. What a beautiful thing to do. Repeat all of these. Have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for being you. Thank you for being a part of my puzzle. Thank you for bringing peace and consciousness and beauty to the world. You're very important, and I love you. Namaste.